we've officially played 50 games, and as such, 50 games into the 2025 season, I think the one thing we can all agree on is that the Rockies are worse than anyone could have imagined. They currently sit 8-42. 8 wins, 42 losses. Today's loss to the Phillies puts them in second place for the worst 50-game stretch to start a season. The first 50-game start, the worst of all time, number 2. Okay, the third worst 50-game start to a season is the 1904 Washington Senators, who went 9-41. This year's 2025 Rockies 8-42 is number 2. The number 1 spot are the 1895 Louisville Colonels. They lost 7 games, they won 7 games and lost 43 games to open the first 50 games of the 1895 season. So, stick that in your trivia back pocket, why don't you? The Rockies have currently a negative 159 run differential. That puts them on pace for a negative 515 run differential as of this morning. For just a bit of context, Baltimore, who is playing terribly right now and has been inexplicably terrible this season, they currently are the next closest team, and their run differential is negative 85. That's the next closest. That's how bad the Rockies are offensively. Negative 159 and on pace for over 500. Negative 500 run differential. Unbelievable. Their team's collective ERA sits at 5.82. Their starters are boasting a 6.86 combined ERA right now. That is just, I don't even, if you have one player on your starting rotation that has a 6.86 ERA, either something is wrong in the acute form, adjustments need to be made, and then everything will level back out, or you're getting DFA'd. Like, that's just, there's no way a team with any hopes or chances of making it to the playoffs is going to retain a starting pitcher with a 6.86 ERA, and their entire starting rotation is combined for a 6.86. That, to me, is unreal. They are 3-13 in division play, and no other team in the NL West is playing below 500 right now. As of right now, the Rockies are on pace to win 26 games this season. That would give them 136 losses. That would be the worst ever. That would be the worst ever. That would make last year's White Sox look that much like not so bad, right? Not that much better. I guess that's not the way I want to say it. But it would help them not look so bad. So according to Colorado Community Media, which is it looks to me like an independent community sort of journalistic effort, right? Probably a handful of steps above a blog, but not a syndicated news organization. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am, baseball family. Jump in there and let me know. But anyway, the Colorado Community Media, they have listed a handful of ways to enjoy the Rockies despite the terrible performance and on-field product. One of them is to come out to see your other favorite players and teams, right? Another one is that if you show up 2 hours before the ball game, then you can get $3 Coors Lights, 12 ounces. You can get them for $3. You can also get 16-ounce craft brews for $6 2 hours before the game. As soon as they sing the national anthem, though, both of those prices jump $10. So it's a $13 12-ounce beer, and a 16-ounce craft brew now goes to $16. So the argument they made in the article I read was hilarious. They were like, just show up early, and then if they're getting butchered 20-0 by the 7th inning, like, what do you care? You get out of there, right? And you got some real cheap beer in the process. I thought that was hilarious. They also suggested you could focus on promo games. The promo schedule, slap that thing on your fridge and find out when all the firework nights are, or the buy one get one deals, and bobblehead nights or whatever, and head out to the ballpark for reasons other than simply watching baseball. And I will say, as a big fan of minor league baseball, which is a tease, we'll get into that in a moment. As a big fan of minor league baseball, sometimes it's okay to go to the ballpark and not, be all that concerned with the situation on the field. The performances don't always have to be the main focus. I know Brad, I can hear Brad roll his eyes from here. He's like, oh, I go to the ballpark, I want to watch baseball. It's like, yeah, I know. I get it. And I do too. But there is room for just going to enjoy the atmosphere and the situation and the people you're with and things like that, which I think you would agree with as well. But sometimes that's the only reason I'll go, and that's okay. So, seats, I've seen seats at Coors Field right now as low as $5. You telling me you could, for $10, you can get a ticket and a beer and, a couple extra bucks, you get a hot dog? Go to the ballpark. What do you care? Unless you don't want to support the ownership group and you want to strike or boycott going to the game, which makes sense. Go read that article if you can find it. It's not hard to find. They had another suggestion I will save because we are a family-friendly show, but it was absolutely hilarious, so go check it out. The Yankees are going to be in town starting tomorrow. They're going to do a 3-game set Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That will be potentially very rough. Who knows, depending on who shows up, how they show up. But in Denver, the way the Yankees have been hitting the ball, could be rough. So get ready for that. The Rockies then leave home for a road trip. They're going to be at the Cubs for 3 games in Wrigley. Then they're going to be in Queens playing the Mets for 3. And then they're going to go down to Miami and play the Marlins for 3. Can you imagine that road trip? That is a really intense road trip for a 9-game set. So we'll see. We'll see how they do. Baseball family, let me know. Are you as worried about these Rockies as I am? Have you forsaken them? Or do we all the way give up on them? It's okay if you have. It's okay. It's going to be all right. But are you still holding out hope? Does firing Bud Black change everything for you? Will the ownership group sell? I doubt it. I don't think they're going to sell. But we'll see. Anything they can do to get a butt in a seat, though, that's what they're going to do.